Greetings, fellow wheat and soy farmers. Rodamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Stationeers' Brutal Vulcan. Episode 32, Supplying Nitrogen and Damage Control. Solar Tracking Vert Math. Oh, wait, what? Oh, the memory unit for the Solar Tracking Vertical blew up? They seem to be... I haven't had power issues, so I'm not going to solve that right now, but that's good to know as well. Because that would be the memory unit of 90 that I was drawing off the grow light. Well, whatever. I don't need to confuse you with that. Okay, so now... Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go, 21 moles of nitrogen. Stick it through the filter. 21 moles of nitrogen is going to come in here, and everything that we don't want goes outside. Now, hypothetically, we might want to put the passive vent like further from the base, because nitrous oxide is going outside and hypothetically combusting. I don't know if we can see like fires coming out. It's like a trickle of gas, so maybe it's fine. I don't know. It's something to think about and make sure it's okay. So the last measure of this, obviously it worked, and then here's our grams of lead. So, you know, thumbs up, totally functional system. The logic worked, the venting worked, everything worked. First try. Pressure in the farm's a little low. All right, let's get a canister filler. So that would be just regular gas utility. I'm not going to bother color coding it because it's like... Oh, you know what? Do we just run an active vent now? Yeah, let's just run an active vent now. So insulated piping. Because all we really need to do is to have an active vent dump in there. It looks like the wheat's done growing already, too. So how do we get... Maybe I'll have it go through the roof again. That seems to be the least intrusive. Alright, while we're printing up those insulated pipes, I'm about to get critical hydration warnings. And I'm sure I'm going to need to make water soon, because we're probably down to pretty low. Oops. Alright, let's stop the pipe printing. Stop the press! Oh, I don't want orange, I want green. So green indicates that there's nitrogen in the line, hence the color code. Let's put our master nitrogen back. I don't know how many pipes I'm gonna need, but like, I might have done it overboard, but I'm sure I'll use... Oops. I'm sure I'll use the other ones. Then we also want an active vent. And then, given my cables are 5, we're also going to need to print up some cables. Cheers. And I only put the lead through the system to, like, combine the ingots. You've ruined so many potatoes because of the hitbox of the microwave. That's why I, like, don't combine the stacks. I guess you can also get the automated furnace, too. That would technically work. That should be enough. And let's stick it here. So this is the farm CO2 act event. And the farm night N2 act event. Guess I didn't need all that cables given where I installed this thing. I installed it here just for ease. And then soybeans are barely growing. And I'm sure they're barely growing due to the fact that there's barely any nitrogen in the atmosphere. So we are working to solve that. Yep, oh god, there's barely any nitrogen in the atmosphere. Don't die on me, no! Alright, before I leave, what does our water look like in here? Oh, water's fine. Okay. This should be set outward, which it is. That's another really, you know, important thing, is the vents pointing in the right direction. My CO2, I will need more CO2 filters. Got it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think these are vert tracking. They're definitely not. But it's producing enough power anyway, so it's kind of like a, it's not working, but it's working. Working good enough. Alright, 5's overkill. Do straight 3. Ta-da! If everything's done correctly, this should still be nitrogen. It is. Okay. Before I completely lose daylight... Oh, frickin' mountain. I wanted to grab some silicon, because silicon outgasses to nitrogen effectively, and I also need a lot of silicon for daily use, so it's the perfect ore to put through the system. So, this stress test is going to be sticking... Oh god, fire. Multiple stacks through. So what I'm hoping to do is to have, like, more than 50, which the game was like, oh, I hear you, so here's 50... Go screw yourself. Alright, we'll have to find a new node. You know what maybe what we'll do is I'll start, because we are desperate for the nitrogen. The silicon ingots are going to be slow going through here anyway. One of the lovely things about putting it through the airlock is I can be on either side, inside or outside, and that's it. It's already going through. Hey, Killadrix! Welcome! Always a pleasure to have you and your crew here. Oh, you're playing some Valheim. How was it? What were you working on? I have a bit of an understanding of Valheim, having played before. And to your crew. This is a game called Stationeers. Here's a little blurb about it. But it is like an open world survival craft game that is very high engineering, high math, high science. And I am on a planet called Vulcan, which is super hot and very volatile. And I'm in day 61. surviving. And I'll try to explain to you and your crew everything that I'm working on. So at the moment, I'm working on the project above me, where we are setting... Actually, that's not even true. What I'm trying to do is add nitrogen to my farm for soybeans. That would be more accurate, because I did just set up the arc furnace gas capture, which I'm sure most of you guys have no idea what I'm talking about. But essentially, in order to create gases, Vulcan's atmosphere is like mostly chlorine and hydrogen and carbon dioxide. Actually, exclusively those three gases. So I need oxygen to breathe, and I need nitrogen in my farm. And I needed to create a furnace, which then captures all the gases that are outgassed from the smelting process to then feed into the farm. And last stream, I like blew up my base a little bit, like low key. So I also have a bunch of repair damage to assess once the gas capture is done. We're doing a no map, no portal run? Oh, power low. I don't like hearing that. It's probably 50%, yeah. That's fine. So we are mining silicon because in the game, silicon ore, or rather silicon ingots, outgas... Where can I even see the outgas? Is it just the element? I forget where you even... Oh, here it is. Silicon outgasses nitrogen when you smelt it. Nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and pollutant. Pollutant is essentially chlorine. And there we go. There's a batch of 100 new silicon going through the system. And we will see about flushing that in the farm. So tracking it, yep. We've got 68 moles of nitrogen ready to go. Nice. And we should probably already have like a... Yeah, there it is. The first batch of 50. So if I did this correctly, we should have 2 of 50 and 1 of 2 grams coming through once it's done. Okay. Time to tend the farm so that our beans don't die. So this is our nitrogen vent. Everything behind the vent is nitrogen. It will chill the area a little bit. But now there is, oh yes, 7% nitrogen in the room. Yeah! Up from like 0.2%. Which means our soybeans are not gonna die. And our wheat, well, this one is interesting. This one is like done growing, and this one's like totally not. It's working towards seeding. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the seeds out, the wheat seeds, because I don't have any wheat seeds, and then replant the wheat. So we have 7 wheat and 2 seeds, and that's working towards seeding. So I could, as a next priority, once I've like fixed all the explosion damage from last stream, I could try to like fix up the farm a little bit, because I have a lot of plants in the farm that are like not all that happy. And happy plants are... I would be happier with happy plants. Alright, so I've pushed all of the nitrogen I have, which raises us up to about 9%. It would be a good idea to put an LED in here for the nitrogen percent, to start tracking nitrogen percent as a farm health reader at some point, but maybe not right now. So the other thing I need to do is to just raise the pressure of the farm, because the farm was depressurized a bit, which is going to lower the nitrogen percentage, but it doesn't lower the total moles of nitrogen. All right. I'm going to put the soybeans away and the seeds away, and then we can start repairing the explosion damage once I hydrate and eat in-game. So seeds are stored. Seeds are shelf stable, whereas the soybeans themselves and wheat and stuff like that aren't. So we got to refrigerate those. Pressure's a bit low. So, oh, that was the wrong thing. Pressure's low, but like as soon as the airlock cycles, the pressure goes up. So the pressure, I can't read it from here, but I'm sure it's fine. As long as it's above 50 and below 100, it's like fine. So hydrate. Oops. Eat. I can't wait to not eat potatoes anymore. Done. Done. I think before I start fixing the broken stuff of our ice units and weather. Oh yeah, pressure is actually high, if anything. The CO2 percentage changed, and this is a result of course, there being nitrogen in the room. So I might also want to track oxygen and nitrogen, both. Because before, we were just tracking CO2 because the only other gas was oxygen. So you could just deduce what the oxygen to CO2 percent is. But now that there's 3, you kind of need to track at least 2 of them to get a good measure, but like, that can wait. For a bit. Doing some battery recharging. Okay. So, before I do storm damage, I do want to check plant analyzers to try to figure out why my plants are so sassy sad. Because the plants really just aren't happy, and I want to know why. Yeah, that's true. O2 is being filtered out actively through this pass event, so I don't really need to track it. It should never be higher than, like, you know, 2% or 3% unless the... Alright, so growth efficiency, 41%. It wants to be between 20 and 30. It's 21. It wants to be between 51 and 100. It's 89. It does have illumination stress. It requires... Okay, so this is why it's going poorly. I had less than 1% nitrogen for a while, so it kept the soybeans alive, but just like barely. Like they were wilting. Now that I have 6.5% nitrogen, the soybeans should be recovering. So they're growing poorly because the readout there is like the average for like the last day or 2 or whatever. So yes, they are growing poorly. They should be more mature by now, but like that's being remedied. Whereas like this wheat, because I just replanted it, is thriving. Oh, and speaking of which, the other one is done. No, I don't want to grab the fern. Yes, so these are thriving because I've hit all of their required everything. Cool. All right. Farm's okay. Farm's okay. There's no issues here. If the memory chip for 90 is busted, the grow lights might not be cycling properly. I replaced the grow light. We have the grow light logic memory right here. So I've already fixed that. We just didn't do the solar logic. So the current priority right now is fix the broken logic from the explode. I'd say explosion, but character count don't fit. Didn't even bother taking off my suit that time because it wasn't going to be in there very long. From the kaboom. From the oxidation. Let's get scientific. Oh boy. All right. I'm missing a weather station So let's first fix the solar logic. I think that's probably the most important. And I believe for that, all we need is the memory. If I'm not mistaken. It's just one logic memory chip that got blown. Oh, I also need to print up a spare battery. All right, here we go. That math unit is sad. Solar logic memory. Value 90. Oh, it's hot out. Hello, black hole. All right, so the input here. So this is the solar tracking vertical logic reader, and it was supposed to be the memory adding to it. So I just need to point value 1 to the solar logic memory. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and I immediately saw the solar panel vertical tracks change. And one might assume it's working correctly, but I would need a network analyzer to double check, and you better believe I'm going to double check because I have the network analyzer on me right now. So if it's working correctly, this array of solar panels should be outputting about 6 kilowatts. 7.6 kilowatts. Obviously it's working. Obviously it's working. Did they change the amount of power that Janus puts out? Because, like, that's almost a kilowatt a panel. I don't recall it being a kilowatt a panel. Do you? No, it wouldn't be wind. Wind is on a totally separate network. Wind's over here, so it's, like, not... Definitely not wind related. I don't know. I mean, whatever. It's free power, so, like, no complaints. I think our solar logic memory was here. The chip was here, and that's what blew up. Because the explosion happened right around here. Oh, you can even see wreckage of the weather station. Oh, weather station. Bye-bye. Alright, so the solar vertical logic is done. Let's do the battery logic next. And the battery logic lost a wall and lost a, so I need 2 walls, 2 kit walls, and 1 memory chip for that. Well, at least the vertical solar was really, really easy. So here's another memory. Oh, and I already have the kit walls. Oh, this is going to be easy. Alright, I do know that I'm going to need a weather station. So let's start printing up the weather station, because that's the next logic system we got to fix. Oh god. Every time I'm near those blades, I'm like freaking out. Maybe I'll install iron on these so they actually look like walls. But it's not a big deal. Alright. This logic memory is going to be the battery percent logic memory. Oh, wait. I forgot something. Those were going to be windows. I could make them windows. I just don't care at this point. Alright, there's my weather station. And then the other part of the weather station was 2 logic input outputs. One to read the next weather event, and then one to write. And then I need the battery console, because my battery chip... I don't even know how the battery chip broke here. Because the explosion... I guess it shared a wall with it, but, like, that's a stretch. I don't fully understand why I lost my battery percent LED readout. But for that, we need a console, a kit console to put back here. So there used to be a panel right there, and I'll turn... Oh, stop. I'll turn this back on. This is our storm tracker, which is currently broken. I done blew that up too. Can you rotate? There we go. So this thing is going to be reading out the percentage of battery. So this is the battery percent LED display. If we want it to be a percent, we need the mode to be 1. Got it. Because right now it's not a percent, it's... Well, I'll do the mode 1 after. So we got that in. And I have my logic IO, and we'll do the weather station afterward. Perfect. Conti, thank you for the resub. Thank you for the Bezos bucks. I appreciate it. So this logic memory here, it's the battery percent logic memory, and I just hard-coded the maximum, which is 18,018,000,000. That's how much power all of our batteries can have. It's 3.6 times 5. All right. Then, the reader, the battery percent logic reader. Oh, I don't have a cable analyzer, do I? I gotta print that up too. All right, if that's the case, let's just do the oh, you know what? I don't have the plastic for the weather station. I keep, like, having a partial amount of the things I need to complete my task. Shame on me. So, plastic. Where's my silicon? Oh, speaking of silicon. Yep. 50-50 and 2. So the system in batch works, so you can just, like, as long as you don't actually fill all of the chutes, and granted that the chute system is rather long, there's like 10 units, it can handle, like, whatever the hell you want to put through it. I'm so happy that works. Like, you don't understand. It's awesome. Alright, so there's the 3 plastic for the weather station, and then the other thing we needed was the cable analyzer. Which needs silicon. So the cable analyzer analyzes the amount of power that the battery has, and we kind of need that data. Battery percent cable analyzer. Perfect. Alright, so the input is the battery percent cable analyzer. B. And then the variable is its power actual? Yep. Actually, is it power actual? These station batteries have charge? I guess it's kind of hard because they're full right now, but whatever. Power actual? No, it's definitely not power actual. Power required? No, it is power. No, it wouldn't be ratio. Ratio is a slot reader. Alright, so this thing is the reader divided by the memory. So this is the battery memory. And then the writer is the math unit, battery percent logic math. And then the output is the LED. Battery percent LED, display LED or whatever. Battery percent LED display, and it's setting. And tonight I'll get a better read of it, because when the power is full, it's hard to tell if it's working or not. Because when it's full, the like maximum and the actual charge are the same number, so it's hence confusing. So while we wait for nightfall, let's put our weather station back in, so we know when storms are coming. All right, so the weather station's on. Full light screen, but that's not all the information we want out of it. Then over here, we'll have the storm reader and storm writer. Storm logic writer. Storm logic reader. And the storm logic reader input will be, actually, let's have this called the storm weather station, so it's all start with the same letters. It makes it easier to set up the logic for it. So fine. Oops, sorry, I passed it, didn't I? Storm weather station, and the variable we're reading is the next weather event time, which there is no weather event coming. And then the input here is the reader, storm logic reader. And the output is the storm logic LED, storm LED, and it's, oops, setting. Okay. Our weather station's been repaired. I know we have like a lot of incidental damage. So I need electronic parts to repair the act events. Is that true though? Hang on a minute. Maybe not, because I fixed it. The old uninstall and reinstall razzle dazzle. Alright, now that my batteries aren't full, this is correct. Yep, 96%. Alright, so if we go inside, we should have both of the LEDs reading correct values. Also, I'm dehydrated. So, 0 seconds, basically no storming coming. And then this should be a percent. So let's set that up as a percent. Which means the percent was 1. Value 1. So the input here is the A logic memory, and the output is the battery percent LED. And then the variable is its mode. And flash it. And now it's a percentage. Did we want it colored? I think it was green, right? Is that correct? It was always green? If you guys want a different color for it, that's fine. But green works. Alright, the next project is assess damage, because if the act events were damaged, I suspect there's other damage that that I might need to replace. All right, I am out of water. Got it. Did we lose the battery charger? We did not. We sold a heavy battery, which I should replace, but we didn't actually lose a charger. Charger's right here. It got moved. Okay, there we go. Let's make some water before I do anything else. No, that's a network analyzer. That doesn't help. 700 moles. Holy moly. Oh, it was on. Okay, that's fine. So we are now mixing oxygen and volatiles into fuel to make water. And I'm printing up a spare large battery. Waste tank was basically full. Air tank's getting replaced. We've got 68 moles of nitrogen still. 50% on that filter. We might want to filter some more CO2. And I'm pressurizing the base a little bit more. Okay. So we should start getting water. Yep, there's already 0.7 of a liter. Base's Atmo mix is 61 kPa, so 61% of Earth's pressure at 15% oxygen. What I just realized is I haven't really labeled my... Oh, I'm going to need a CO2 filter myself. So here's our heavy battery. Large battery for a swap. Let's make some CO2 filters. I am very low on iron. The logic behind the water air was removed intentionally. What that was, is it was logic to intake atmospheric CO2 at night. This thing. In order to fill our coolant loop. And once we had enough coolant, I removed the logic chip. So this is intentionally left empty. That is... It's also super far away from the explosion, so like it would not have been damaged anyway. Alright. I think we've gas mixed enough for the water. Because the other thing that we could do is base oxygen act event. So I did label that one. I just didn't label the other one, which is the base CO2 act event. Going with the name schema, we'll call this O2. Because, yeah, we don't need to be breathing O3. That's not so good. But we had more oxygen. Alright, what's left in the tank now? 1 mole. But once the base is... Oh, yes. It's 23% oxygen. It's not breathable yet because of low pressure. Once I get a little bit more oxygen and carbon dioxide in the base, I can take my suit off. Base will be breathable. Because that was a voted... Oh, well, no, that's... I keep looking at that percentage and going, oh, no, my filters! But, like, no, the filters are fine. Yeah, filter's fine. Okay. Before I forget, let's, or before I get way too distracted, I think more like, let's continue looking for functional damage. So this cable is like damaged. But only that cable? about the one behind it? Yeah, the one behind it's damaged too. Alright, I don't see anything else in this room damaged. The vents up here seem to be fine. I don't know what tool to use to, like, check for damage. The frame seems to be fine. Alright, let's go outside and, like, look for more damage from the explosion. So these vents were damaged, obviously. The frame here got blown out entirely. These pipes seem to be fine. Furnace is fine. The transformer's fine. Oh, and, you know, now that we're doing this, I need a new goal. So here is a... Oh, not there. Whoosh! There is a poll for the next goal once I've finished assessing damage. I was worried that the station batteries were damaged, but they aren't. The wind turbine's not damaged. I think... that stuff's new. Pipes are new. These flat walls are able to take quite the beating. I'm actually very surprised that the frame broke, because frames are usually pretty hardy. I believe we're clear of damage. I'm going to install 3 walls on there, though. Maybe we will make them windows. Like I had originally intended. Oh, that's a composite window. Yeah, alright, we'll do composite windows. Oh, wait, what is damaged? The cable junction? 3%. I don't care. Okay. We'll print up 2 more wall kits, and then 3 plastic, or 4 plastic, 3 glass, and finish that logic area up. Thank you for tuning in to Stationeer's Brutal Vulcan, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rodamont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rodamont.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow Vulcanites.